think that there's controversy about it, but within the sort of the climate science community, there really is almost unanimous agreement on 2 points. One is that global temperatures are indeed rising and as a result of man-made carbon emissions. So the training that I got was to try to translate that in plain English to people like you and me, so we can make a difference about it.
Because you hear so many things, there are treaties, there are international things that can be done, but there's an impact right here in eastern Pennsylvania and western New Jersey, as well as things that we can do to help save money. Talk about the impact a little bit first.
Sure. I mean, you don't have to tell you about the crazy weather we've been seeing. And I heard last night on the TV that Central Park, for the first time since 1877, did not see any snow. That's 130 years without any snow. And then
in the month of December.
And you could say, okay, that's a fluke, it's a one-time anomaly, but we're seeing a lot of other changes that are going to affect our lifestyles. Personally, as a backpacker, I love to go to Glacier National Park in Montana. Scientists are predicting that within 20 to 30 years, there may not be any glaciers there. Closer to home, anglers and hunters are going to see changes in the way that the species that they hunt and fish for are impacted. Cold water fish may start disappearing because water temperatures just aren't getting as cold during the winter as they used to. There was an interesting study out of the University of North Carolina that suggests that the potency of poison ivy is going to increase, which is,
wow,
God forbid.
We don't want that.
Exactly. Now, there's certainly things that we can do on a global level, on a political level, but close to home, you'd be surprised at how many things that you can do that really make a significant impact right away, and as you said before, maybe save you some money. If you were to simply change 3 light bulbs in your house, take out the incandescent bulbs and put in the new compact fluorescent bulbs, which, interestingly enough, Walmart is trying to sell 100 million of these bulbs because they've gotten on the message too. You'll save $60 on your electricity bill, and you'll reduce your carbon emissions for the year by 250 pounds.
Well, that's something simple. I mean, we often think as just a family that what can we do? And even whether you agree or disagree with global warming, I think we all want to save money.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
You can buy into it on whatever level fits you personally,
right.
But saving money usually fits everybody's level.
Well, let me give you one more example. If you were to turn your thermostat down by 2 degrees in the summer, up by 2 degrees in the summer and down by 2 degrees in the winter, you'll save $800 on your heating bill, and you will offset about 2,000 pounds of carbon emission. Other things
Pretty
you can
impressive.
do, take the roof rack off when you're not toting gear around. You can unplug the charger for your iPod or cell phone. It continues to drain energy even when you don't have your cell phone or iPod plugged into it.
Great information. John Dorn, so much more that we can learn about the issue, but we're so delighted that you took the time to come over and share it with us right now. Editor-in-Chief of Backpacker Magazine, we appreciate it. Right now, we want to help you find something to do with your time this weekend. Tempo trivia question. Did you know how many Americans are estimated to have Alzheimer's disease? Well, according to the National Alzheimer's Association, it's 4.5 million. Here are some more interesting fast facts about this disease. Many people would think losing their job was the end of the world. Well, tonight, Alice Massimi tells us the story of an ex-Bethlehem Steel employee who knows what it means to forge ahead and make the best out of what life throws you.
Had a real good job. I was working real hard. I bought a great big house with a great big yard. I didn't save much money. Didn't have much time.
The words Angelo Melisecca sings are heartfelt, taken directly from his life experiences. They're the story of a career that ended unexpectedly, but turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
30 years too long.
I had a good job there as a technician, and it was a groundbreaking melt shop.
For 29 and a half years, Melisecca, who's now in his 50s, worked at Bethlehem Steel's Coatesville plant.
A harsh environment, and it's it's a very rough environment to be in for a long time, and it's noisy, dirty, can be kind of crazy, especially in a melt shop. You know, that's where you see the molten steel, sparks flying and the flames going up in the air.
But it was music to Meliseka's ears. It was what he had come to know, even love. That is until 2003. Bethlehem Steel went bankrupt, closing its doors, taking with it thousands of jobs, and leaving lifelong employees with nothing to fall back on. Their pensions were gone, and so were their spirits.
It was a very difficult time. We had learned the news of the government seizing the pension funds, and that being taken away right around Christmas time. I think it was Christmas week.
It was real hard for him because no one knew. They all were hoping that it was going to hang on long enough for them to get their pension.
A lot of guys were only weeks away from them or less, and we're really counting on taking advantage of that. And you know, the rug was pulled out from under us on that.
Feeling angry and at the same time sad, Angelo wasn't sure what to do, but he decided to follow a lifelong dream: music. Given his first guitar when he was 8 years old, music was in Angelo's blood.
Mom and Dad liked music as well. They played a lot of country western music, so there was just a house full of music.
And it didn't take long before Angelo got his first gig, playing for his dad's friends. Part of a band until he graduated from high school, real life tore him away from strumming on his guitar. Angelo now had a family and a full-time job, leaving no time for hobbies. That is until the early 90s, when his kids were grown, that he ventured out locally to an open mic night and met Roger Paisley. The two became known as Angelo and Paisley, and soon developed quite a following.
I felt in awe most nights. Angelo can flat pick without a pick, and that's kind of unusual. He learned that from a guy who does a Southern guy who did it that way. But Angelo sounds like he plays with a pick, but he doesn't. He uses a corner of his thumbnail.
Music was something Angelo did for fun, never a living. But with his career at Bethlehem Steel now over, he had some time on his hands.
I would have to say it was a blessing in disguise. Yeah, certainly in disguise. But yeah, I don't believe I would have ever been. I would have had the opportunity to pursue it in the way that I did.
With the urging of his wife Jody, Angelo wrote a CD, and the two of them set off on a cross-country trip to give people a taste of his unique, folky sound.
Blew by Chicago, went out across the plains, right through the Cascades, going down to Coos Bay.
A sound that is unlike most others. Self-described as a folk American blues musician, it is the words in Angelo's song that touch many. Whether you can relate to his story or not, you feel for him, especially when you listen to his most popular song, 30 Years.
That's a half of my life. Couldn't keep the house. Didn't want the wife. Had to leave that job. Everything went wrong. Why did I wait 30 years too long?
The biographical nature of it is terrific. It's a great story. It's a great way to tell the story. I think the mood of the song reflects the frustration in the lyrics.
Sometimes dreams get shattered, and that one just cuts, you know, knowing what happened to him. But hopefully, you know, hopefully he can turn that one on its head.
And by the sounds of it, he's on his way to doing just that.
A couple of his songs have played on radio stations in Europe. They've played on radio stations in parts of the U.S. He's also got two of his songs, 30 Years and Far From Home. PBS's TV series Road Trip Nation picked them up for its soundtrack.
I don't think anybody's in danger of becoming bored by his style.
A style Angelo is happy he got a chance to create.
You get a line, now get a pole, honey. Well, you get a line, now get a pole, baby.
For Tempo, I'm Alice Mussini reporting.
Nice to have a happy ending. Well, speaking of endings, we're out of time. See you back here again next time. Good night. If you'd like a copy of tonight's program, you can give us a call at 610-867-4677, extension 111, or send a check for $20 to PBS 39, 123 Sesame Street, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, 18015. Most importantly, don't forget to specify the date of the program you're interested in.
Support for Tempo is provided by
Lehigh Valley Hospital Care for Children is a proud sponsor of PBS 39. Children with serious illnesses can get the care they need close to home at Lehigh Valley Hospital. Lehigh Valley Hospital, when it matters most.
RCN, dedicated to serving the residents of the Lehigh Valley with bundled cable, phone, and internet service, and the proud recipient of the Reader's Choice and Who's Who Award. Arts programming on Tempo was supported in part by the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, a state agency funded by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and the National Endowment for the Arts, a federal agency.
And by the members of PBS 39. Thank you.